depending on the person that you're with, if that's in their personality to just weaponize and antagonize you in general, that's more of a them thing as opposed to going to therapy, learning words and using them. And if like the example that you said was she comes home and says, "Hey, I was in therapy today and I learned about gaslighting. What you're doing right now is gaslighting." That's not antagonizing you. That's like educating you on like the world and how it moves and the things that take place within the world that you may not be aware of. So I think that would be on that person to then educate themselves as to what gaslighting means or whatever the term is means, so they can have a conversation and communicate when they're both on the same level intellectually.
No, that's fair. So I might not use the perfect example for it because I was speaking on when the actual therapist was describing to us how the weaponization occurs. So that example might not have been 100% correct, but the concept still stands. So I'm still standing with the concept, but I can see the example.
So Andrea, I wanna
hold on, let go. Before you go, let me get grade A in and then we'll come back to you.
All right, go ahead. All right.
Go ahead, grade A.
Okay. I'm the only person that hadn't really been talking. Okay, so you want my opinion on this?
Yes, your opinion, and then if you want to address anything anyone has said thus far.
Okay, so my opinion is the best advice I've ever received as far as potential goes is to date people for their reality and not their potential. Because sometimes we do delude ourselves into creating people that don't even exist. And then we expect that person to, I think, what's his name? Sweeney. To piggyback on what Sweeney said, like we set expectations for people and you should never set an expectation on anyone if you have any type of, conflict that this person is going to be temporary, because there's a lot of temporary relationships out here. I feel like that's a big thing going. So you should evaluate the situation to determine if it's even worth putting yourself into and having expectations, because everything isn't even worth it. And then, just taking people for who they are, like see people, okay, this is where they're at. That's who you are, as far as upward trajectory, that's possible. But piggybacking on what the lady Mistaken said, you have to pay attention to see if they're just talking or if they're actually executing their ideas, because you have a lot of people out here who will just say whatever they have to say, come to you as a representative, know that you're out of their league, and they'll put on that facade to try to get you to date them. It's a lot of people out here who representatives. Not everyone, initially comes as themselves. They'll talk that talk just to get you, where they want to go. I know another word that's, running around now is love bombing. So it's like you just really have to sit back, evaluate the situation. Is this person worth my time? How much of myself am I going to have to compromise, to appeal and appease this person? Because like Andrea said, a lot of men, get intimidated when you're more, when your verbiage is different, when you're more educated, when you have more than they do. A lot of that's the danger in it, because men are egotistical. So it's like, how can, a lot of men feel like their ego gets into the picture a lot, because they feel like, okay, this woman may have more than me, because that's the reality of a lot of situations today. Statistically, Black women, are the, most educated demographic of women, and we make more money.
No, you don't make more money. You're more educated. Don't do that.
Okay, somebody clapping. I don't know who clapping, but
that was for the educated part, because
okay. Well, this is a different time where women are bringing more to the table. Women bringing the table, the coasters. So I mean, it's a different time. So I can see how a woman can get into a situation like that, where a man may feel intimidated because he may not be able to match what she has going on. And men are egotistical creatures. They have to feel needed. So that's how we can become volatile. I've seen that.
So go ahead, Sweeney. Go ahead. I got something. Go ahead, bro.
Sweeney, I thought we was cool. I didn't know.
We are. I'm not even. We have already debunked that 1,000 times on this panel. I'm not.
I can't believe it, Jesus.
So
go first.
I'm about to preface this with what I found, and then I'm going to ask y'all a question.
Okay.
So the word potential means, and this is the adjective, having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. A noun, latent qualities or abilities that may be developed and lead to future success or usefulness. So now that we know that, is it possible that we have such a hard time dating someone on potential because we actually aren't very good of recognizing potential?
True.
Yes.
Yep.
Or actually even knowing what that is?
Yep.
I totally agree. And
I
I think that's the
disagree.
problem.
I completely disagree.
Women can turn around and they don't really know what they want in particular. So if it isn't looking or wrapped in what they think they want, they're not gonna be happy. So yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
I think Andrea said she disagrees. Sweeney, go ahead, Andrea. Why do you disagree?
I completely disagree. I feel like sometimes people want to try to do this mind Jedi trick where like, oh my God, it's so deep in retrospective. Do we know what it is? Do we know? Do we really know what? Yes, I feel like we know what potential means. Okay. Like I feel like let's not sit up here. Let's be honest, y'all. Because y'all not being
Hold on, wait. Before you do that, I need to correct you. I didn't say, do we know what potential means? I said, are we good at actually recognizing potential in other human beings and the person? That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
And you preface it with, is it possible? You didn't even make a statement. You asked a question.
Because it's subjective depending on who the person is.
All right, y'all, let her finish. You got the correction. Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay. So you said, is it possible? If you just are dumb, maybe. If you're not like, I mean, y'all not being honest. Like, we're grown, we're adults. Like, we know what we should know what potential looks like. Okay. I think that what I'm saying is that when you meet a person and you're thinking about dating them, meet them and you see them where they're at. That's who you have. Meet them where they're at. Like it's a person, like motivation and all that stuff is an internal thing. Being ambitious is an internal thing. So I can't see inside of your mind, and I'm not going to try to see inside of your mind. If you no, don't date for potential, please. Don't let these men trick you.
I think you kind of just proved my point though, because the mere fact that you say that it's an internal thing when there's very real world things that you can see in someone and recognize that they have the potential to be great. There's the reason why they have NFL scouts or music scouts and things like that, because they can recognize the potential in someone. That's a very outwardly thing. So I think you kind of proved my point when I say that I don't think we're very good at recognizing the actual potential in someone, especially when it comes to relationships. And I'll land there. I'm done.
I was going to say too, the other thing with it is that the mate that you choose should be able to see the potential in them. If your mate doesn't inspire you, then you've chosen the wrong person. So I'm using inspire in potential interchangeably, because like I said, when you're younger, like in your 20s, I know very few people, let alone women, really have a sense of who they are, where they're going, what direction they're going, things like that. Very few women that I know. On the other hand, if you have the right partner, a lot of times they can actually ground you, and then you begin to find a direction and end up growing within that relationship. So for me, when some of y'all who know me, I met my husband at 18. There's no way that I had any idea of what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. But it was something that he saw in me that he kind of put his hand in a mix. And it led me to a direction that I got to find more of who I am by being with him. Like, I learned what I didn't like, what I liked, what direction I wanted to go, what I did or didn't want to do, those kind of things. And so the fact that he saw potential in me made me shoot up. And as I began to grow and begin to change, some of that rubbed off on him. And so it should be both of y'all are pushing and pursuing greatness in each other to make each other the best of who you can be.